Epic. Today's podcast will cover Algebra Nation Workbook, page 58. We will do the left side of page 58.
We got it? Are we good? Okay. Here's the other type. So to finish this off, now let's say you want to use point slope form instead. If you use point slope form, you can find the slope, then plug it into point slope form to find the line, and then find the x and the y-intercept. So basically, you've got options. You have some options, choose an option or the other, make sure whatever is best for you. Here we go. Given the 2 points, let's first write the equation in point slope form. So we first need to find the slope once again. We have xy, our first point and our second point. Our second point. There we go. y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. That'll be negative 1 minus 2 more is negative 3 divided by 1 minus 3, which is negative 2, giving me a slope of 3 halves. Now, for point slope form, you've got the slope, and pick either point, doesn't matter, I'll pick the first point. Y minus y1 equals m, x minus x1. Y minus my first coordinate, 2 equals 3 halves, x minus my x coordinate. And that's all they want, so if you need the equation in point slope form, well then you would be done. But now they want the x and y intercepts. So here we go. Given this law.
But now it's time for a brain break. What do we have behind curtain number 1 today? Oh, I know what's behind curtain number 1. A shout out to the Bucks. They finally won a game this year. I don't think for some reason the Bucks have listened to that song very much this year. Maybe one time. I don't know. Sorry if you're a Dolphins fan.
Fine. Find an x-intercept, you plug in a 0 for y. For a y-intercept, you plug in a 0 for x. And you solve. So here we go. On the left-hand side, 0 minus 2 is negative 2 equals. Distribute 3 halves to each one of these. 3 halves times x is 3 halves x. 3 halves times negative 3. That's negative 3 over 1. That means you multiply the numerators together and you multiply the denominators together. From here, we're going to get our variables to one side, our numbers to the other, and then divide if needed. But we have a fraction here, so I don't want to deal with a fraction. You don't want to deal with a fraction. Let's go ahead and multiply out the fraction. Hopefully you've seen that solving video where to get rid of fractions, you multiply everything by the common denominator, 2. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. 2 times 3 halves, the 2's simplify, giving you 3x. 2 times negative 9 halves, the 2's simplify, giving you minus 9.
If you wanted to, you could say 2 times 3 is 6. 6 divided by 2 gets you to the 3. Here you could distribute the 2 with the negative 9. 2 times negative 9 is negative 18. Negative 18 divided by 2 gives you negative 9.
So let's get rid of fractions whenever possible when you need to solve. In this case, I'm going to add the 9 over to the other side. And then lastly, divide both sides by 3. Now, if you had a different way to solve it, as long as we got the same answer, x equals 5/3, then we're both good. And if you want to show that way you solved it, make sure to post it on the wall so we can discuss. X is 5/3, that'll be an x-intercept of 5/3 comma 0, because for an x-intercept, y is 0. Then, for a y-intercept, x is 0. Here we go, let's solve this one. Y minus 2 equals 0 minus 3 would be negative 3. I need to multiply here, so I'll multiply the numerators together. I'll multiply the denominators together. In this case, I can just go ahead and add 2 over, because all you do to finish this up is solve for y. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides. However, negative 9 halves plus 2, negative 9 halves plus, you need to go ahead and rewrite 2 to get a common denominator. Remember, this is one of those pre-algebra review videos that hopefully you watch to add fractions. So if I want to go ahead and add 2, the common denominator is also 2. You multiply by 2 over 2 to give you 4 halves. And y will end up equaling negative 5 halves. But again, the coordinate is going to be 0 comma negative 5 halves. For y-intercept x is 0. So as you can see, these questions can get really, really involved. And I expect you to go back and watch it all over again. That has got fractions. You've got to go ahead and find common denominators or multiply the denominator out. Definitely a lot of work for these types of questions. It'll take some practice. You can do it, but you have to practice.
Later, alligator. In a while, crocodile.